Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Mais non. Ah oui. It is a brain rot time. Gentleman's accusation. Miss Lestrade, is what the gentleman is saying? What do you think? It's all lies, ain't it? Obviously. It's swear on my life, I ain't never laid eyes on the dandy before. Let's hear it now, you little ragamuffin. You stole it, didn't you? That ticket you brought in here just now. No, I swear it. I swear to God. It was barely an hour ago. I was walking along the street, minding my own business, when this little gutterling ran into me. I knew at once what had happened. I've been robbed yet again, I thought to myself. Those wretched pickpockets. Yet again. He's not very good at keeping his possessions to himself. Weird. Yet again? Oh yes, as you can see, I'm a man of impeccable style. This isn't the first time that I've been targeted by these backslum scoundrels. Oh no, he's posing. Now then, relinquish my overcoat. Come along now, Miss Lestrade. Give the good gentleman his coat back. If you're going to cause trouble, I shall have no choice but to call the police. Hold on, why does everyone think it's me? Just look at the dandy curve, and you think I'm the dodgy one. Yes, I'm not good at British accent. I'm sorry, but no one's going to believe you. Well, what about evidence, ye? Where's ye evidence that I've stolen something here? Come on, let's see it. Oh, I have evidence, naturally. Just look at my grudge. Your what? Evidence that the article Miss Lestrade redeemed actually belongs to this gentleman. Of course, we need to only consult Mr. Windybank's ledger to know the truth. We'll be able to look up the name of the person who deposited the article in the first place. Yes, brilliant! Why didn't I think of this simple solution? I'm very sorry, but I'm afraid that won't be possible. Oh. I never ask the customers' names. That's a strict policy of mine. That's a very stupid policy of yours. But why not? Well, now, as you can imagine, some of my customers have circumstances to consider. A great many of them prefer to maintain their anonymity. Yes, Anon. Yes, I see. But then how can you know if an article belongs to the person asking to redeem it? Oh, it's quite simple. Good sir, might I trouble you for the watchword associated with the article in question? Of course, it's Professor Moriarty or something like that. Yes, that's right, and all the evidence we need. This gentleman is the rightful owner of the article, without doubt. Watchword? Interesting. He just told everybody in this room his watchword. I return, but there's no tea. Okay, you can have some tea from my tea collection. That's okay. So, about these watchwords, Mr. Windybank. As I just explained, I never ask the customers' names when they deposit items with me. Do you have oolong tea? No, I'm sorry, I don't. Are there many reasons why certain customers would like... there are many reasons why certain customers would like to keep their activities secret. That wasn't exactly a subtle glance at Mr. Sholmes now, was it? Great detectives have no dark secrets, none at all. Not time to put it on the shopping list. Why? Isn't oolong tea like literally black tea? As far as I know. Yes, well, anyway, that's why I ask for a watchword whenever I accept a new article. I think black tea is the general name for any tea that is black. Well, we are interrupting this court case for oolong tea. Oolong tea is a traditional Chinese tea that falls between green and black tea in terms of oxidation. It is known for its wide range of flavors, which can vary from light and floral to dark roasted and rich. Oolong tea is made from Camellia sinensis, from the Camellia sinensis plant, which is dried leaves and leaf buds used to create several different teas, including black and green teas. Yeah. Well, I don't have that, but I have something similar, but it's like oxidated green tea. Yeah. Well, I can only offer that. But maybe I will give oolong tea a try. In many ways, it's like the secret combination of numbers used to unlock a vault. The date of deposit, a description, and a watchword can uniquely identify each item. And of course, then I give the storage ticket to the customer. When someone comes to redeem something, I ask for the ticket and the watchword. Okay, so here's my question. Why did you then give her the code? Because apparently she knows the watchword. And if someone tells you the correct watchword, you return the article? That's right, sir. Yes, just as soon as the requisite fee is paid. Okay, so how did Lestrade know it's Professor? And B, here's the other thing. We are like, okay, this is easy solved. If he knows the watchword, then he's the owner. And I'm like, but you gave Lestrade the code. So therefore she must have also told him Professor. Which now negates that the other guy is the actual owner. Because apparently two people know the watchword, right? And I have supplied you with the information you require already, but for the avoidance of doubt. The article in question is an overcoat deposited 2 months ago on the 15th February. Now, this information could prove that he is the owner. With the watchword of Professor. All perfectly correct information, sir. Look, I believe that she stole it. I totally believe it, but the problem is, you are not proving her wrong with all of this. You're literally just giving her all the information she needs. But ow. Okay, here's a point. Despite that I believe that she stole it, which is easy to believe, here's the other thing. We just established that it doesn't matter at all. It doesn't prove that he's the owner. Like, Windy Bank gave the code to her. Therefore, she gave him the correct watchword. Now he publicly announced when he deposited the code here. And Windy Bank goes like, yeah, this is correct. Now you cannot prove that she is wrong, because she heard it, and therefore she can just repeat it. Really, this is beyond a joke now. There's no further room for doubt. There is. This is bullshit. Okay, I will say, if the developers actually say like, yeah, this makes perfect sense, we will have to say the developers are drunk. But that wouldn't be something new, right? Picture postcard gentleman. Excuse me, but who are you? One would expect the inquirer to introduce himself first. Though clearly, you are not British, so perhaps our ways are foreign to you. Oh, sorry, we're from the Empire of Japan. We're studying here. Oh, yes, Nippon. I've heard the talk of that place. Its inhabitants live on some fiery brown colored soup dressed up with exotic spices. You might be thinking of somewhere else. What was that theatrical gesticulation about? Perhaps. Anyway, if you are a gentleman, sir, you offer your own name first before inquiring after the name of another. Of course, yes. I'm Bruno. I'm a lawyer. Well, a student of law, actually. And my name is Susie. I am not Renu's assistant. Runo's assistant. I see. My name is Benedict. Benedict Cumberbatch. Yes. Egbert Benedict. His name is Egbert Benedict. Egg Benedict. Why? Why did they do this? What is this? Is this Dragon Ball? Are we going to name now everybody after food? Gohan? Egbert Benedict. I want to walk away. I just want to walk away. This is just dumb. Enchanté. Yes, that is French. So refined in how he holds himself and how he speaks. But the name is tasty. Now, to the matter at hand. My overcoat. Return it at once to someone with the style to carry it off. Every move he makes, every breath he takes, I can't stand watching him. Why is she quoting a song? Every move he makes, every breath he takes. Okay. When did he take off the other clothes? Hopping off chat to visit store. See you. Thank you for being here. Very nice. Safe travels to the store. And if we miss each other, because the stream will not be on and when you return, then I wish you a wonderful rest of your night. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye bye. So let that be the end of the matter. No. Okay, the devs were drunk. And thank you for your custom, Mr. Egg Benedict, sir. With such reasonable rates of interest, I might even decide to come back. This is why I hate grown-ups. Just cause I'm a diver, everyone thinks that makes me a lawyer. And the contents of the coat pockets, if you please, broker. But of course, sir, here is the disc for you. Just this one? Pardon, sir? I was expecting another, that is deposited. That is, I deposited another disc? Oh, oh dear. I regret to inform you, sir, that was deposited with me, was merely the overcoat. The disc happened to be in one of the pockets, but I was completely unaware of it until now. So, Gutterling, you're hiding more of what's rightfully mine, are you? Says who, eh? I don't know nothing about it. Hi, Bob. Very well. Oh, thank you, Bob. Ow. Stretch. Then I shall bid you farewell. Say goodbye to style. Wait a minute. That disc is mine. What do you think you're doing, you little tramp? You've drawn blood, you filthy animal. Oh my, yes, there's blood on the disc. It's because of all those sharp little bumps. Animal. Man must have scratched his finger on them. Oh no, not his finger. I found it first, alright? I mean, it belonged to me, old man. So I'm not having it. Oi, you take it. Me? If I hang on to it, they'll have it off me again. So you keep hold of it. Mr. Straight Eye. Why is this disc so important to her? Court record. Yes. You there, in the black livery. Livery? Hand that disc to me at once, please. No, don't. He's lying. Grown-ups are all layers. Ugh, what do I do now? How am I going to resolve this? Who knows? A metal disc used to play music in a mechanical music box. The piece of music, which remains unidentified, is stored on the disc by means of small protrusions. Look at the little bumps on the disc. They're so tiny. Yes, the protrusions are called pins, and they pluck the teeth of the comb. I mean, I know the word. I know what it means. Comb. It's like come, but different. Teeth of the comb to make notes. Comb. And just on the edge, there's a small amount of blood. Yes, the blood of the mysterious Mr. Ekbenedict. When Miss Lestrade tried to grab the disc from him, the pin scratched his fingers, it seems. Like when you're grating some daikon radish and accidentally catch your finger. No! Ugh. No. Ouch, just thinking about it hurts. It puts me off eating radish. For McGilded.
There's a little scrap of paper stuck on the reverse side of the disc. Look. And a scribbled word or two. It looks like somebody's name. I can't read. For McGilded.
McGilded? It couldn't be.
But it is. Bruno. A name I shall never forget as for long as I live. Because I burned him alive in a carriage.
But why? Why is his name on this? Huh? Kind of makes sense that this disc actually is hers. Wow, Lestrade is really looking daggers at the mysterious gentleman. We need to do something to calm things down before she loses control and attacks him again. Look at those piercing eyes. He's clearly in no mood for talk. We have to do something quickly before this mysterious gentleman leaves to fetch the police or something. We could put it in here. Look at Mr. Windybank watching diligently over his shop. There are so many things I'm curious about. But somehow I don't really feel like this is the right time to be browsing.
Calming this fraud situation must be our first priority.
And I'm fairly certain that we can't find just a great thing we need among the articles here in the shop, except we can. Mr. Windybank is clearly at loss here. We have to do something about this before he reaches for that revolver of his. Mr. Sholmes, what are you examining with such keen interest there? Are you enjoy a bar of caramel? As you enjoy a bar of caramel, I see. Why is he depressed again? So, you've found me at last, Mr. Naruhodo. Sorry? After that young pickpocket sent me on my way, I was forced to lurk in the shadows. Cruelly ostracized as the rest of you partook in the jovial atmosphere of fellowship. I had nothing to occupy my mind, but was too ashamed to let society see what my downfall had done to me. So feigning mock interest, I pretend to examine the tedious trinkets in this desolated place. Whilst as you shrewdly observed, gnawing on the only friend I have left, this 7% solution of caramel. Sholmes Caramel. The bar is called Sholmes Caramel. Pray, do you claim to understand the depths of my despair, Mr. Naruhodo? But how could you? I was so lonely, so desperately lonely. Then why on earth didn't you rejoin the conversation? Things have gone from bad to worse here, you know. Yes, I overheard much of your conversation. Or rather, in my craving for human contact, my ears devoured every word that was uttered. You really were sad, weren't you?
Poor Mr. Sholmes, I feel simply awful for you.
It would seem that my interferences are correct.
Oh, Surely you're not about to tell us that you've solved the entire case once again.
My dear madam, sometimes I wonder where my genius of for deduction to be commoditized. How much could I pawn it for? It seems Mr. Sholmes had another of his flashes of inspiration. But who knows if it will help to resolve the situation between Miss Lestrade and the mysterious gentleman. What's the right thing to do here? Oh God. Well, Miss Lestrade, it would appear you find yourself in something of a predicament. Find yourself in something of a predicament. Where the blue blazes have you been, eh? Pardon? When a lady's in trouble, a true gent's supposed to be there to help straight away, not an hour later. Something of an enigma. I know what you're trying to do there, Coffee. Harsh. And who, pray tell, are you? Mr. Act Benedict, you have in my eyes a veritable encyclopedic array of curiosities about your person. Nevertheless, there are two immovable conclusions I have drawn. He also has like this ridiculous hat like McGilded. I beg your pardon? The first is this. The true reason for your visit to this pawnbrokery today is something you have not yet revealed. And the second is this. Considerable crime is in contemplation. One you will orchestrate with the intent to steal a vast sum of money. Well, Mr. Benedict, what do you say? What say you to my deduction? How? It's turned as white as a hard-boiled egg.
It would seem that once again Mr. Sholmes has made a flawless deduction.
Just who do you think you are, sir? Ah yes, as I hope. That is precisely the pained expression I was looking for. So, shall we begin? The time has come for yet another Sherlock Sholmes' logic and reasoning spectacular. Oh no. Mystery Man's ear. First of all, we must ask ourselves on what business you ventured into this pawnbrokery today. You claim to have followed this pickpocket here, having had the redemption ticket stolen from you on the street. But that is most certainly a lie. The real reason is something quite different. As revealed by that which you hold in your hand. Yes, what brought you to this shop in the first place is the staff recruitment flyer. The The piece of paper in your hand is a staff wanted advertisement from this very shop. Yet even the most unobservant would soon realize that a man of your appearance has no need for such employ. In other words, there is some ulterior motive for your actions. The cane which you unwittingly clutch to your person exhibits an incontrovertible contradiction. There are initials here, AG. Which is certainly not his. What odd rot. I've had this cane for years. The contradiction of which we speak is, of course, the missing ferrule. Right. The end of the walking cane would be terminated with a metal ferrule to protect the wooden tip. And yet, detailed analysis showed that the wooden tip of this stick to be utterly bare. Therefore, there's only one conclusion. The rod that you hold in your hand, smile, which appears to be a walking cane, is in fact no cane at all. You recoil, sir? Is something wrong? And in your recoiling, you inadvertently facilitate the answer to the next conundrum to present itself. Namely, what is the truth behind this rod you bear? Yes, your reaction betrays the truth. The handle, which you evidently would like to conceal, is the key to understanding this riddle, you see. From the moment I saw it, my suspicions were aroused. What walking cane demands such a stout handle, I mused. But of course, as I said, this is no walking cane. No, that rod is the broken handle of a shovel. What? Are you insane? And now, having determined this undeniable truth, the conclusion is clear. Your true motive for coming here was to take employment at this establishment in order to excavate the ground beneath the premises. What a calculated crime you have conceived, sir. A wickedly calculated crime. It's literally fucking drunk. The great crime. Now, Mr. Benedict, let us continue. For we must expose the details of this elaborate crime you have in planning. This is utterly absurd. You suggest that I, a gentleman, intend to excavate the ground beneath this pawnbrokery with a broken shovel? Worst crime of all. What on earth do you even propose I could expect to find there? Some long-forgotten treasure, I suppose? Save for such fanciful theories, what possible reason could I have to do as you say? Oh, but there's an ample reason. As you're only too well aware, Mr. Benedict. Ah, your furtive glance is more telling than I could have hoped. What? Let us consider what would motivate a man to infiltrate a shop such as this to covertly dig beneath its floor. The answer is revealed by the council notice on the counter to which your eyes were inadvertently drawn. The letter gives notice of public works to be carried out in the local area. Worst crime of all, being gay. No. And according to the enclosed plan of the upcoming sewerage works, beneath this shop runs a sewer that adjoins another, that runs under the bank on the opposite road. This madness has entered the sewers now, has it? By excavating the ground beneath your feet, beneath our feet, you would gain access to the waterway that flows in very close proximity to the great vault of the financial institution opposite. What are you? In summary, sir, you devised a master plan to pull off an elaborate bank robbery by dint of the underground tunnels. Master plan? Which brings us at last to the final chapter of the lurid scheme. With that plunder did the thief hope to make off from the underground vault of the bank? Are you quite serious? Having consulted with Scotland Yard some days ago, I happen to know the answer. But naturally, the answer is no secret to you, is it, Mr. Benedict? I have no idea what you're talking about. Allow me to present a rather interesting piece of evidence. You see, the picture postcard tells us all we need to know. A postcard of the Great Exhibition. I'm afraid you've quite lost me. Currently in the final stages of preparation, the Great Exhibition will soon be underway, and the government has provided extra funds to complete its centerpiece, the Crystal Tower. Funds that currently sit in the vault of the bank on the other side of this road. Pardon? Pardon? Yes, the considerable crime you have been contemplating is the theft of that which sits in the vault of the bank, the special reserve funds for the Great Exhibition. Of course, that is top secret police information, so keep it under your hat, please. As I just shared it with all of you, which is a crime. Hooray. Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes's great deduction of this pawnbroking puzzle. Mr. Holmes? Well, Mr. Naruhodo, an impressively upbeat deduction for a detective wracked with loneliness, would you not agree? Was it true that what you said about the bank over the road and what it has in its vault? Indeed, though we Though few know of its existence, it is one of the government's most closely guarded secrets. That's why I know it. A random detective. Greg's told me in the strictest confidence.
But you just announced it to everyone here, rather loudly in fact.
Ah. And if such a big secret, how could we... What? How would Mr. Benedict have come to find about it? There can be but one explanation for that. Clearly, it's because the man is a criminal. Because criminals know everything. Best kept government secret? Well, criminals know about it. Everyone, like even the one who actually just steals some pennies out of the pockets of random tourists.
But what if he didn't know anything about the money in the vault? If he's a criminal, as you said, then buying a brand new shovel is sure to be the first thing he does now. That you've revealed the secret.
Oh. Or if he doesn't, then maybe Mr. Windybank will. He already has plenty of shovels here after all. Oh, my life, I assure you, I'm not so unscrupulous. Well, hopefully this has taught you a valuable lesson. Sensitive information must be handled with the utmost care. He's an idiot. As per usual. One can never be sure that someone privy to secrets won't disclose them. And once the word is out, it's out. Perhaps I'll think twice before confiding in you next time, Mr. Sholmes. An excellent idea, Mr. Naruhodo. An excellent idea.
Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, you know what to do, I'm sure.
No, I'm not. Yes, let's listen to the great deduction again and see if we can message it into shape. Very well then, let us start once more from the beginning. Of Sherlock Holmes. Magnificent logic and reasoning. Spectacular. Save me. Save me from this madness. First of all, we must ask ourselves on what business you ventured into this pawnbrokery today. You claim to have followed this pickpocket here, having had the redemptor's ticket stolen from you on the street. But that is most certainly a lie. The real truth is something quite different. It's revealed by which you hold in your hand, which is a lie. Yes, what brought you to this shop in the first place was the staff recruitment flyer. No, it's the cane. So, by Mr. Sholmes' reasoning, Mr. Benedict came here in order to apply for a job so he could dig down through the floor.
Yes, this is rather dumb. In an attempt to tunnel into the sewers to gain access to the money in the vault of the bank across the road. But he wouldn't get very far with a broken shovel, would he?
No, I think it's fair to say his motives lie elsewhere. Question is where? What did bring Mr. Benedict here at this particular point in time? I don't know, maybe it's his wonderful walking stick. It's his face. Well, let's just try this. That is a proper English gentleman's cane, isn't it? Look at the beautiful polished brass on the handle.
Yes, but Mr. Sholmes is right. It's not the sort of handle you usually see on a cane.
Perhaps it's the latest London fashion. I mean, that's just guesswork, of course.
Perhaps we should adopt... Perhaps you could adopt a cane, Mr. Naruhodo. It might rather suit you.
I have a feeling I might argue with the sword around my waist. It's not that? That's just weird. Why would it not be the the cane? It's this. Oh. Look at the backside of the fly.
Oh, look at all the scribbled notes on the back of the flyer here.
I don't believe it.
What is it?
Listen to what it says. Name, Gina Lestrade. Height, 5'2". She's shorter than me. Green cap, scruffy waistcoat, grubby white shirt, blue satchel, ragged. It's a detailed description of Miss Lestrade.
Goodness!
There's even a sketch of her hat and all. Though, if he showed it to her, she would fire that smoke grenade launcher in his face for sure.
And look, the details on this shop
of...
The details of this shop have been written down here too. Windybank's Pawnbrokery, Baker Street, redemption deadline 15th April.
Which is today's date. I was Benedict to have all that information scrawled on the back of that piece of paper. And we need still to find stuff? What? That is not what we are looking for? Why? That silk top hat is whiter than white. Only an English gentleman could hope to carry off something so bright.
But it looks so incongruous, whatever that word means, with the black overcoat, don't you think?
Perhaps it's the latest London fashion. I mean, that's just guesswork, of course.
How about it, Mr. Naruhodo? I think you would look very fetching in a white top hat.
Well, you know, I think I might look rather incongruous with my black university uniform, so... Okay, so it's even not that. Are we actually looking for something else? It is not on his person. I'm not entirely sure what the game wants from me. It's weird.
It certainly is a flyer for Mr. Windybank's shop.
Let's see. Windybanks wants you. Pawnbroker assistant required. It's an eye-catching advertisement, that's for sure. Welcome back, very nice. What delicious food did you get?
I've seen the same flyer up here inside the shop, I think. Perhaps Mr. Winterbank is always in need of more staff.
Mr. Benedict came here to apply for a job? That's just too hard to believe.
What is the game wanting?
I don't get it. We have the hat, we have the cane. Oh, I need to present it. I'm an idiot.
Take that!
Yes, what brought you to this shop in the first place is the info about Miss Lestrade. Quite so, my dear fellow. It would appear that the writing and the sketch on the reverse of the flyer pertain to the pickpocket Miss Lestrade and to Mr. Winterbank's pawnbrokery here. Ugh. You originally told us that you had merely given chase after Miss Lestrade stole the redemption ticket from you. But that, sir, is a thinly veiled lie. It is the information on the back of the flyer that led you here today, by which I mean, I bought just a baguette, not sure not sure when I will eat it yet. So, okay. Baguette. Ah oui oui, baguette. N'est-ce pas? Changing some settings on the phone. Okay. Here, to Winterbank's pawnbrokery, and today, the redemption deadline of that overcoat. So you waited outside for the young girl matching the description you have written down to arrive. Ugh. And you should have gone. And you have gone to some lengths to hide the reason for your pursuit of Miss Lestrade. Baguette with milk. Well, you could also put some butter on it and garlic and then roast it. Delicious. In other words, there is some ulterior motive for your actions. The cane which you unwittingly clutch to your person exhibits an incontrovertible contradiction. It's already filled one. Huh? What utter rot. I've had this cane for years. The contradiction which I speak of course, is the missing ferrule. What's a ferrule?
It's the metal cap commonly found at the end of a cane, Mr. Naruhodo.
Ah, the bit that makes it a nice clacking sound on the pavement.
Yes, exactly. And Mr. Sholmes is right. It appears to be missing on this cane.
But it doesn't actually look broken, does it?
No, it doesn't. Though the gentleman certainly did recoil when Mr. Sholmes identified the cane as suspicious.
In other words, there's some secret about the cane that Mr. Benedict would rather not... That Mr. Benedict would rather we don't know. That is not even a sentence. That Mr. Benedict would rather we don't know. That Mr. Benedict would rather us not know. Something like that would make far more sense. Look here, Miss Susato. There's some letters on the handle.
Ah yes, those must be initials, I think. In the West, it's customary for people to engrave their belongings with the first letter of their names.
So Herlock Sholmes would be HS, you mean?
That's right. And the initials on this cane, obviously. Oh, AG. AG Greens. Why does it feel as though that's not quite right? Because that is what we need.
Take that!
Hello there, Abitsun. How's it going? The contradiction of which I speak is, of course, the initialing. What a word. A most astute observation, wouldn't you say, Mr. Egg Benedict? We are led to believe, sir, that your initials are EB. Yet in a most possessive manner you have in your grasp a cane bearing the initials EG. I'm well. How are you doing? I'm doing fine. Quite a nice, chill day. It's cold outside, but it's cozy in here. An incontrovertible contradiction indeed, would you not agree?
No, you're wrong. This cane isn't.
You said before that you had that cane for years. So don't try to tell us that you just borrowed it from a friend or found it in the park.
In short,
though you hold yourself to be a gentleman, you have withheld your true name.
you recoil, sir. Is something wrong? And in your recoiling, you inadvertently facilitate the answer of your next conundrum to present itself. We already did all of this.
Namely, what is the truth behind this rod you bear? Yes, your reaction betrays the truth. The handle which you evidently would like to conceal is the key to understanding this riddle. Let's consider the bare bones of what happened here. Miss Lestrade redeemed that fine-looking overcoat. And now a mysterious man has appeared introducing himself with a fake name and claiming that the overcoat belongs to him. But we know that he actually identified Miss Lestrade from a written description, which suggests that everything else he's told us is untrue. So what we need to do here is somehow prove that the overcoat cannot possibly belong to him. It's kind of strange because it sounded something ripped. Oh, there we go. So it ripped, that means it wasn't his size. Oh, the seam on the shoulder there is coming apart. Look. So it is. Do you know, a moment ago when Miss Benedict was surprised by something that was said? I thought I heard him make a rather strange noise. It sounded a bit like a tiny growl. But now I think it was probably the sound of this seam ripping open. If you look closely, it does seem to be a very tight fit. The sleeves are stretched, bursting, and he wouldn't have a hope of fastening it at the front. If he were to run around in it, I'm sure the whole thing would fall apart. That I would like see. Sorry? So how can we make Mr. Benedict run around? It's really giving him this some thought. And I cannot present that, okay? Stylish hat, handle, but it's not the handle, is it? been looking closely at this hat for some time now, and it suddenly occurred to me that a bright white top hat like this might be just the hat for me. You like it, do you? Think I do, don't I? Well, in that case, you could see if there's something similar among Mr. Windybank's forfeited items. After we concluded our investigation, we must focus on the task in hand at the moment. But I can present the hat as evidence. So it's not the handle that we know, but I only have the hat and this.
Take that!
The split seam, which you evidently would like to conceal, is the key to understanding this riddle, you see. Oh. Yes, because the overcoat is rather obviously a poor fit. Having forced it over your broad shoulders, the seam is already breaking apart. My suspicions were aroused from the outset. When you so boldly lied about your name and so boldly waylaid this pickpocket. This catalogue of untruths has all been for one very specific purpose. To steal the article that the young girl redeemed from Mr. Windybank. Oh God. But what really irks me is this. The considerable crime I initially imagined has been considerably curtailed. Oh God. Now, Mr. Benedict, let us continue. For we must expose the details of this elaborate crime you have in the planning. This is utterly absurd. You suggest that I, a gentleman designed to You suggest that I, a gentleman, designed a wheeze to filch some tawdry article of pawnage. Have you forgotten that I redeemed the article in the proper manner using the watchword? Had I not been the one to deposit it in the first place? How could I possibly have known the relevant details, n'est-ce pas? Yes, that's French. No, but the watchword can be discovered. As you are only too well aware, Mr. Benedict. Ah, and your furtive glance is more telling than I could have hoped. What? Let us consider how one might come to learn a secret watchword relating to the pawned property of another. The method is revealed by the council note. No? The direction of the deduction must change rather dramatically now, I think. Yes, no more talk of tunneling into the sewers. Which is a pity because it all sounded rather exciting. Anyway, you can't deny that this mysterious gentleman did know the watchword. Yes, Professor. If you didn't know what word Mr. Windybank would... If you didn't know that word, Mr. Windybank would never allow you to redeem the article. Can we now come to the conclusion that Miss Lestrade knew the watchword before this gentleman even entered this shop? Or looking at it another way. If he didn't know the word, Mr. Windybank would allow you to redeem the article whether it was yours or not. So the question is, could this gentleman have found the watchword out somehow?
Professor. Old lamp. Notelet. What the heck is a notelet? Okay, we can only go left and right. I will make the general assumption that it is this notelet.
Look at this, Miss Susie. Ah, it appears to be a memo that Mr. Windybank has scribbled to himself. Let's see, what does it say? Oh, Professor. Mr. Windybank must make a note of the watchword his customers give him right before their eyes. And in alarmingly clear script as well. Oh dear, I don't know where to look. Who knows what other secrets I might see?
Take that!
The method is revealed by the notelet on the counter to which your eyes were inadvertently drawn.
Yes, the broker here follows the same procedure whenever a customer comes to redeem an article. He asks the customer for a watchword and notes down the response uttered on a notelet he has to hand. Then he consults his ledger and confirms whether or not the watchword matches that of the article in question.
I mean, it's one thing to have like a note where many watchwords are on it, but picking exactly the correct one, that is also a mystery. How did he exactly know which is the correct word?
I would expect nothing less of a diligent pawnbroker.
But his diligence clearly has its disadvantages.
What are you talking about? It is increasingly apparent that you were present in this shop before your accusation against Miss Lestrade.
In all likelihood, you followed her inside and then observed her talking to Mr. Windybank.
When the diligent broker made a note of the watchword as is his common practice, you observed him writing the word Professor on the notelet beside the ledger.
Okay.
And that, sir, was the master plan you devised to steal
English.
Was the master plan you devised to steal the pawned article from the young Miss Lestrade? Master plan? Which brings us, at last, to the final chapter of this lurid scheme. Why would you go to such lengths to redeem that particular article from this pawnbroker? Are you quite serious? An ill-fitted overcoat hardly seems to justify the effort, much less a worthless music box disc. But naturally, you had a very good reason to make them yours, didn't you, Mr. Benedict? I had no idea what you're talking about. Allow me to present a rather interesting piece of evidence. You see, the articles were talking about. Can I English today? I don't know. The articles we're talking about are the overcoat and the music box disc that was in one of the pockets.
Which, according to Mr. Windybank, isn't even worth a penny.
And yet this man went to such lengths to steal them. Why?
I wonder if perhaps we already have the evidence we need to explain it, Mr. Naruhodo.
Could we? Really? I'd better have a look through all we have in our evidence collection so far, and we already have done before. And look, it's this, and then we turn it around, and then it's this.
For Mr. McGilded, the surname of the man whose innocence was you secured into trial 2 months ago and didn't accept his wealth. And then I burned this man in the carriage. I'm still happy about that.
Yes, a trial I'll never forget. Not because of the tragic evidence followed it which Mr. McGilded was killed. But why would his name be on this music box disc? Am I reading the same thing they already talked about?
I'm afraid I have absolutely no idea, but one thing seems certain. This surely cannot be a simple coincidence.
Okay. Guess I just have to present it.
Take that!
You see, this music box disc tells us all we need to know. What's that on the back? It reads... It reads for Mr. McGilded. Oh! Ah, Mr. Magnus McGilded. The unfortunate philanthropist who perished in curious circumstances at the Old Bailey 2 months ago. A prominent man in London, though his loan-mongering demonstrated a distinct lack of scruples. So, you're an associate of his, are you? Or perhaps a subordinate? Mr. McGilded was a man of unusually small stature, in fact. He was precisely the right size for that overcoat that you've squeezed yourself into. Your true identity remains shrouded in mystery, Mr. Eck Benedict. But the final conclusion here is crystal clear. The reason you came to this pawnbrokery today was to retrieve an article left behind the late Magnus McGilded. He's good at defying the gravitation. Oh my god, that was so easy. It really was easy. Oh well. If this isn't the cutest chat on Twitch. Well, well, Mr. Magnus McGilder. Not a name I expected to hear in these circumstances.
Mr. Sholmes, I'm afraid there's something very troubling on my mind.
Pray tell, Miss Susie.
Well, according to what Mr. Windybank told us earlier, today was the final day on which the code could have been redeemed, was it not?
Yes, ma'am, that is correct. Today would be precisely 2 months since it was first deposited. Well, today's the 15th April, so 2 months ago today. Would have been 15th February. Sir, that's right. It's all carefully recorded in my ledger. Could we stop repeating the same date for 3 times? Like, what is going on? We all know what we are talking about. Thank you, Bob. Deposited at 10:30 p.m., I see. What? But that suggests...
Yes, 15th February.
It's precisely the day on which the omnibus murder took place.
I'm still proud of that. And 10:30 in the evening is precisely the time at which the terrible events were unfolding.
Suggestive is not the word. It would seem the matter is entirely beyond coincidence. You are, of course, at liberty to make whatever outlandish deductions you choose. However, I must insist you hand over the music box disc now. It would be a terrible shame for you to return to your native land in a box. No, what do I do? Well, I would say I would definitely offer him a bowl of ramen. Is the game actually going to kill me? I wonder. It's not a single knife inside. This isn't England. Absolutely not. Some things a man must protect at all costs. A true gentleman never uses a gun. How? This may be well one of those things. Then again, may not. Mr. Windybank, this is my shop. I can't allow any harm to come to my customers. If that were to happen, I would shoot my customers first and then myself. I should have to take my own life. Mr. Windybank, no. Alright, that's enough. Of course, it's him. Inspector Greggs. Inspector. That's right, Sunshine. The alarm was raised in one of our dedicated merchants lounge. So we got here as far as we could. Now what's this all about, eh? Oh, praise be, you're here at last. I was moments away from forfeiting my own life in my very own establishment. It would seem you have the upper hand. Right, you lot have got some explaining to do. I don't appreciate being bothered by some pre-angry berry. What?
Petty? Petty? Mr. Windybank's very neatly... What? Mr. Windybank very nearly met his... Mr. Windybank very nearly met with his hand.
Oh yeah? Why is your guy at full control? Oh dear. And a whole brother who could never meet with the end and don't go to the bottom of the case supposed to be walking on. What? I don't understand a word you're saying. What on earth is this case, Inspector? Spare no detail, Greggs. I may said a little too much. No matter, it's got nothing to do with that. Anyway, sir, you're gonna have to come with me to the station. But of course, Inspector.
He's getting away. Oh no. Get after him, lads. Whistle the beat, officer took.
Yes, the beat officer.
Sure.
He's been a spear theft and partnership recently. So we feel an emergency boarding in the counted for brokers to know what is trouble.
Inspector, I was very worried there for a while. Very worried indeed.
And now then, Miss Permanent in morning.
Yes?
Oh, but take him over there with you, Miss McGurty down onto your thank you and ma. Shaheen you over.
Oh, yes, of course.
No, don't give it to him. It's mine. That's mine. I'm sharing me. But all the things belonging to Miss McGill has been taken into evidence now.
As evidence?
If the police demand something as evidence, my dear fellow, we have no choice but to capitulate. It's all yours, Inspector. And so, we handed Mr. McGilder's disc over to Inspector Greggs, and were summarily turfed out of the shop and onto the street. Oh, this is this army from the Americans, and I really enjoy the British Army. What? I'm still amazed that the British Empire has this American person as a police officer. And even more so, I'm surprised nobody understands what he's saying. And he still has that job. Crazy. We shall find out next time.